Coming off this win, it's a big win, first Pac-12 win of the season. How does it feel to just get this kind of win and dominate like this in front of the home fans?
Well, we just try to focus on our performance, and I feel like we're wrestling pretty darn close to our potential, and even on Friday as well too. We went up and wrestled a really, really talented Power 5 program, and we were right in the mix there. A lot of close matches on Friday, and this Sunday I think we made just a little bit of improvement, and just trying to keep going forward, man. That's what it's all about, just making sure we give full effort, and I think if we do that, great things will happen.
Yeah, taking it back to Friday, Trevor Tinker had pulled off the upset, and I don't know if I'd call it an upset because he's pretty underrated. But after coming off that injury, the benches were kind of going crazy there too. What do you have to say about the way he performed this weekend?
So I don't think there's anyone more deserving than Trevor Tinker, and we all know what he's capable of because we're with him every day. And for him to go out and shine like that, particularly coming off an injury, he's been out half the season and just wrestling to his potential, man. It's so much fun. And deep down we knew that we were going to have a good performance by him, but to cap it off with a big fall there at the end, it was sweet. It was just a great way to cap off a great duel. And maybe the scoreboard we're a little bit short, but all things considered, man, I felt like we had 10 guys that went out there and fought their butts off, including Tinker.
Speaking about that a little bit, coming up short on the score, I know that obviously that was a big game, a big set match that you guys wanted to win. But what were some things maybe you were telling your team afterwards to kind of be like, hey, we got to get right back to it on Sunday and keep this ball rolling? Because you guys did have a successful outing out there, although like how you said, the scorecards may not have indicated it. You guys did have a lot of guys wrestle pretty well out there over there in Oregon.
I think it's just having the right metrics, and we've been working on this for a couple years now, and being able to surrender outcome and just focus on how do we gauge each other's performance. It's by our effort, it's by our attitude, right? And it's making sure that we're focused on growth. And I think when you do that, you'll collectively have a group of 10 guys that they're not shaken by the team score. And it's almost funny when you see other programs, they're so reactive and responsive based on wins and losses, where for us, we're reactive and responsive based on our output and based on our effort and based on, are we using this opportunity to get better? And we are. And if you would have walked into our locker room, you wouldn't know if we won or lost after the match. Same thing before the match. We're not going to let it negatively affect our mindset or our attitude. And where there are guys that could have wrestled a little bit better, I don't know. Maybe not. I thought we wrestled pretty darn close to our potential. That's where we're at. But this is a different team today than it was 2 months ago. This is a different team today than it was last month. And I think today was a little bit different from 2 days ago because you can just see our guys just evolving so quickly, right? I mean, you remember when we start this year and we turned over 6 of our 10 starters, we're like, rebuilding year, and now we are where we are, and you're looking at guys. I mean, we got 3 guys in the top 10 right now. We got Trevor, who just beat a number 11 guy. Legend Lamer just turned the corner. He's been top 10 in the country. It's pretty cool. Don Mendez beating All-American. I mean, we got a collective group of guys that are doing some really special things because we're focused on the right metrics.
You had another debuting Henriksen out there today. It's funny. It's all the brothers just kind of seem to come in folds this year. And you just had another brother debut over there for the Lamer family. How is it to kind of see that family value continue on your program? I know that's something that you really pride yourself heavily on, is the family aspect. How is it to actually have families come in and, like, you have the Wick brothers, you have the Henriksens, you have the Lamers? How does that feel for you as a coach to have these guys consistently coming in and wanting to come wrestle for Cal Poly?
So I think it's a testament to the culture that we built, and it starts at the top with our staff, and it trickles down to our leadership and then to the guys. And, when the older brothers are having success, not just on the mat, but academically and personally, I think it's a telltale when parents are willing to send the younger siblings right to the same school, whether they're maybe a little bit more talented, maybe a little bit less, but regardless, we're getting a lot of really, really talented wrestlers. But most importantly, I think our core values align. And when it comes to families, typically if the older brother's a slam dunk, then the apple doesn't fall too far. So, with the Lamers, I mean, we got some high quality young men with, Blake and Abe, high quality young men, Wicks, high quality young men. So it makes it a little bit easier sometimes, but also, we still got to treat each one independently because they are different, right? They're different personalities, wrestling wise, stylistically, they're a little bit different. So we treat them as individuals, but it is pretty cool having sets of brothers. I think it's makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways.
You guys had the bench rocking over there for the Michael Bofeld match. How does that kind of, I know you were speaking on it earlier, the culture and everything, and I feel like that's one big word that's kind of rode for this season. But for you guys to not only be on the feet for one of your guys, like how you were saying, the top 10 guys in the country, but also Michael, who's obviously had his fair share of a little bit of struggles this season, as well as having some bright spots. How is it for you to have everybody come together in matches like that and really show the true camaraderie of the team?
I think it sheds a light on the fact that we're a developmental program and we invest in all of our guys, not just our 10 starters, but everyone on our roster. It's incredibly important to us that we help them continue to adapt and improve, and Michael's no different. And maybe he struggled a little bit with some wins and losses early. You know, we just got him. He was at a different program for 5 years, and we do things differently. And today, you saw improvement. And I think that's why the guys were getting behind him, win or lose. They see a guy that's going out there and he's leveling up based on his effort, and he's getting close. I mean, the kid he wrestled's pretty talented, and we were right in the mix. And I told him after the match, we're proud of you, man, because all we'll ever ask is that you do your best. Did you do your best, yes or no? If the answer is yes, then we can work with that, right? And we will. We'll watch the film early next week. We'll fine-tune. We'll find some different setups. We'll get to the legs, and can't wait to wrestle that guy again at Pac-12. So I think we'll be in a position to reverse the match, and that's a true gauge of success. That's our metrics. So super pumped for him because he is definitely turning the corner. And sometimes it takes a while. Everyone's on a different time clock, right? Some guys can come in out of the gate and be ready to go. Other guys, it takes a few months, and everyone's different. And we're super patient. I'm a very patient man. And with that, I think when it does happen, we make sure that they understand and we reward that. We reward the effort. So, you know, maybe he fell a little bit short tonight, but he fully understands that we are proud of him, and you can see the teammates, they're proud because we're all on the same page.
That's going to do it for me, Coach.
Yeah, sorry, one more for me. Blake wrestled phenomenally tonight. He was relentless through those first two periods. What do you have to say about him and like the youth of this team and this up-and-coming program with guys like Blake?
So we have some very talented freshmen that are in red shirt. There's a number of them, and they work incredibly hard. And when they get an opportunity, I love the new rule where first-year freshmen get 5 dates, and they still get to keep their red shirt. So you saw Dashiell wrestle 5 dates. You saw Blake wrestle a couple dates. We got a few other guys in the mix as well, too. And it's just a nice chance for them to really highlight and show off a little bit of all the work they've been putting in throughout the year. And those guys are only going to get better moving forward. So that's just a little taste of the future of Mustang wrestling, and, you know, seeing Dash and Blake and a few of these other guys kind of pop into the lineup as needed based on injuries, and seeing that, hey, those young bucks can wrestle too, man. And they got great mentors and leaders to look up to. You know, we got a really solid leadership group on this team, and you know, we set pretty high standards. And I think once you develop that culture and you develop the standard, then when fresh faces come in, whether they're brothers or not, you know, they know what's expected of them. And then when you have that, I think that's why we're so tightly knit, and I think that's why we're developing at a very, very rapid pace.